I'm busting my ass for 8 years with this podcast. Finally, I'm like the number 2 guy, Ben Shapiro, Dan Bongino. It's like that for like 3 years. And then like a month ago, I see the rankings and Megyn Kelly's number 2. I'm like, totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. I'm like, I refuse to be number 3 on the iTunes charts. Like, people really love your show. And I got to tell you that you did it in such a short period of time. I'm serious. It's like I think it's the August rankings.
Stan.
That is the first time we've been number 3. And I'm kidding. I'm actually very happy.
I know you're kidding. I know you're kidding. But don't you love, I remember seeing that and I tweeted out this and I feel this. I love my neighborhood. I love sharing this space with you and Ben and the guys who are in the top 5. Like, what a great collection of people. And even though we're not all under the same umbrella, like Fox News or CNN or what have you, I feel like we're a part of a community. I feel like more times than not, we have each other's back. If you see somebody coming for one of us, it's like the bar is high and people understand how it's like an attack on the whole ecosphere.
It is. And Megyn, some people talk and some people do. I absolutely feel that way and I can back it up. I don't know how much you follow your Twitter or don't, but I'm on there all day between that and truth because I'm just like obsessed with show prep and stuff. I have this FOMO thing, fear of missing out. So I saw it was just a couple of weeks ago. It's like the second or third time I've had to do this where somebody tweeted again. That's why I opened up the show with this. Some dumb article about you, like, oh my gosh, Megyn Kelly's not on Fox. I'm like, do you have any idea how big her audience is? I mean, are you that stupid? Like, this was a journalist type person. So I think I tweeted out, Danny can probably tell you if they look for it, something like, tell me you don't understand new media without telling me you don't understand new media. Like, look at this dumb tweet right here. So yeah, that means a lot to me. I don't care if it's your show or not. I'm invested in this entire space, this new media space. And if you don't think this is the future, just look at the numbers. One side's going down, cable news, and one side's going up. Which side do you want to be on? It's not complicated math to figure out.
There was just a headline this weekend, about this past weekend, saying CNN on its weekend shows, it's, they take the weekend demo average and the weekend overall average, demo being 25 to 54-year-olds for the audience at home. And it was the lowest in CNN history. Dan, and in cable, we always used to look at the demo, and Fox News never came near this, but some of our competitors did in the demo. And if you get under 50,000, you call them slashies. They don't even show you what you got. Just get 2 slash marks to show you that you didn't even hit the 50,000 mark, which, it should be very easy to do in cable news. And the demo's now averaging, I think, 55,000. They're almost at slashies across the weekend in all CNN programming. The overall was averaging about 350,000. 350,000. That's the demo on most Fox shows. Or at least it was, a year or two ago.
I'm not ignoring you on my phone to text. I'm just looking at something right now just to make sure I don't fake the funk. That's an N. I know we don't have FCC rules.
Well, while you look, I'll just say, so that's an absolutely dreadful embarrassment to CNN. That is a door-closing problem.
My Rumble show has been up about 3 hours, and it's got 395,000 views. My Monday show has 820. That's just my Rumble show. That's not audio. That's not iTunes. That's not Spotify. Megyn, we get 70 to 80,000 people in the live chat. On an 11 o'clock in the morning show online with no cable distribution at all, you can't pull 50,000 people in a demo. But, I think what's happening is the TikTok generation has a shorter attention span. Listen, it's not a knock on them. It's always, kind of fashionable to knock the younger folks, but I was one of them once too, and they knocked us, We used to listen to like Rage Against the Machine and stuff, and everybody used to laugh at us. And now it turns out they are the machine, by the way. But I just think they don't have time for kind of like bullshit stuff. And the thing about CNN is nothing ever is newsworthy there. Nothing's ever worth watching. And you can almost predict what the guest is going to say. Donald Trump sucks. Ron DeSantis killed everyone in Florida. Republicans are Nazis. It's just
no evidence.
Or some kind of euphemism. Yeah, there's no evidence of that. There's nothing ever. But, for as much as you may like or dislike Fox and Newsmax or OAN or whatever it may be, you'll go on there and you'll actually get a perspective. Like John Turley, who's a very skilled constitutional attorney. I see him on Fox, see other lawyers on Greta's on Newsmax. Greta will give you both sides. Greta will be like, hey, man, listen, that was kind of bullshit what happened in court. There's no legal precedent for that. And you're like, wow, I learned something. You're on CNN, you will learn absolutely nothing. They're like, oh, we're going to bring on the Republican. You're like, oh, good, I'm going to get the other side. And they're like, welcome, Adam Kinzinger. You're like, bro, this guy's worse than the Democrat. Like the Democrats debating Kinzinger a bit more, and he's more pro-Trump. So
yes,
you think I'm right, ain't I? Like, you don't really learn
100%.
anything. So why would you bother tuning in? What's the point?
So what do you make of the fact that it was just announced Rupert Murdoch, 92 years old, stepping down as, the emperor of News Corp, of Fox Corporation, and Lachlan Murdoch taking over? It's kind of the drama's gone because the fight between Lachlan and James Murdoch, I mean, there are a bunch of Murdoch kids, but those were the two who were vying to be the heir apparent, was settled years ago. We all knew it was going to be Lachlan, the more favored son. Sorry, James. But James is more liberal. Lachlan, I think, if anything, is more conservative even than dad. But he's basically been running the place already for, a few years. I don't expect much to change. Exactly. But what was your reaction to the announcement that Rupert's stepping down?
I was talking to my radio producer about that. Some long breaks in radio sometimes. So you're chatting during the break and we get along really well. And he asked me the same question. And, I had a different experience. You got to remember, like you at Fox, you were 9 o'clock. Like you were Fox. I mean, that was it. The 9 o'clock spot at Fox is the spot. That's just anchors the whole night. I mean, the first time I filled in for Hannity on his show, I got to tell you, man, I've never been nervous on the air, like ever. You can probably tell. I don't know, when you're a Secret Service agent, you're like, but I walked in the building and I was like, damn, if I screw this up, like I screw up the whole network tonight. Like it really hit me for the first time. So you were there every day. And the thing about being a 9 o'clock person on Fox, you did really good ratings, is you're the network and you're treated different. Like you get to you probably talk to Lachlan. I've never had a single conversation with Lachlan. I've spoken to Suzanne maybe twice. So I don't know if Lachlan's conservative at all. I know Tucker used to chat with him a lot, but I was a Saturday guy and I did it remotely. So I only was up at Fox like 4 or 5 times. But having friends over there, they'll tell you what you already know. I mean, he was probably running the company day to day pretty much anyway. And to act like Rupert's going to step aside and like all of a sudden, if he says something, no one's going to listen is kind of like stupid. So what's changed? Like if Rupert has a thought, people are going to listen, which happens now. And if Lachlan has a thought, people are going to listen, which definitely happens now. So I don't see anything changing at all. I mean, what Fox was yesterday, Fox is going to be tomorrow. It's not like they sold it to like, Brian Stelter or something like that. It's the same family.
Millions of Americans earn and use credit card rewards. A few big box retailers want to take those rewards away. What the? That's according to the Electronics Payment Coalition, a sponsor of today's episode. Rewards that you may like to use on your groceries or your school supplies, cash back to save on your gas and to grow small businesses, whatever you use that cash back for, and travel miles to make memories. The so-called Credit Card Competition Act would eliminate credit card rewards. No more travel miles, no more cash back. Visit handsoffmyrewards.com to learn more. And if you want to help them, tell your legislator to stand up to the retail giants and to support consumers and small businesses. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.